What's up guys, Riley here from RP Productions, and today I'm going to be reviewing the Nitto 555 G2 Summer Performance Tires. Alright guys, so I've had these tires on my vehicle for about 3 weeks now, and I've put close to 2,000 miles on them, so I've been doing a lot of driving the past few weeks due to some unfortunate circumstances, but definitely got to get familiar with these tires. So when I bought these tires, I only bought the 2 in the rear rather than buying all 4. Reason being, I wanted to test out to see if these tires were actually worth buying. You know, there's no sense in me spending double the price if I get the tires and decide that I don't really like them. So turns out that was actually a very smart decision on my part to only buy the rear, because what I was trying to test and find out was how those tires, these tires, can handle the power that this car puts down. For those not familiar, this is a Dodge Charger Scat pack. Now it puts about 430 horsepower to the rear wheels, which is about 485 to 500 to the crank. So that's definitely a lot of power and requires, you know, some good tires to be able to actually use that power. So the size that I went with was 275 40 20. The stock tires on this car are 245 45 20. So basically I upgraded my rear width of my tire about an inch, and then also, you know, this is supposed to be a stickier compound, so I was expecting great results from these tires, and unfortunately they've kind of let me down. So before I bought these tires, my best 0 to 60 I have ever done was a 4.4 second 0 to 60 with the stock tires. Now that was done when it was about 55 degrees outside, so I'm not expecting to set any records with these tires, but what I was expecting to do was actually gain better traction than before. So before, my tires, the stock tires, they had an acceleration, my max acceleration G was 0.70. Now, after doing, you know, pretty good testing with these tires, my max acceleration G is 0.72. So for those of you that can do math, that's 0.02, you know, a 0.02 increase, and that's $400 to get that. So my best 0 to 60 with these tires is a 4.6 0 to 60. Now keep in mind, it is summer, so the temperatures are much warmer now. But my problem with this is that I was actually able to do a 4.6 with the stock tires, you know, like the day before I sold them. So really I didn't gain anything. So yes, for those of you following closely, I spent about $400 on buying 2 new tires, and my 0 to 60 is the same as before. Now, I'm not the only one to find these subpar results. My good buddy Scat 392 has the exact same tires, but in a 295 width, so even wider than mine. He went from a 245 to a 295. He also got a different set of wheels that are wider to, you know, work with those tires. And his best 0 to 60 only decreased by about 0.1 or 0.2. I can't remember the exact number, but whatever it was not substantial, and he too is very disappointed with these tires. So even with his 295 width tires, he still only has a 0.76 in his acceleration Gs. So yes, that is for sure an improvement over stock, but for spending that amount of money and buying some tires, it should be a much larger improvement. So I will now play you a clip of what a 4.6 0 to 60 with these tires looks and sounds like. Okay, so believe it or not, that was actually a 4.6, so that currently ties my best launch with these tires, and it's also 99 degrees outside. So, you know, granted, if it was 50-something degrees, I do think I could probably get a 4.4. I feel like I could maybe squeeze out a 4.3, but I think that's all these tires really have in them. Now, I'm gonna go ahead, I'm gonna turn traction control off now, pull up here, we're gonna do this again. I'm gonna roll the windows down just a little bit, and I'm just gonna floor it, and you can just tell, you know, how long of basically a burnout these things will do. So as you can tell, I still have to modulate the throttle just like I did when I had the stock tires. I still, it really doesn't feel any difference to me sitting here in the driver's seat. So do I hate these tires? No. Now let me explain. So after talking to several owners that have these tires on their cars and reading a bunch of stuff on the internet, I've come to the conclusion that these tires are more of a road course tire rather than a straight line performance tire. Everything that I've been reading and hearing from others has been saying that these tires handle so much better than stock. I really can't comment on that since I only have the ones in the rear. They're just not that great putting the power to the ground. Now I do think these would be some decent tires for a car that has less power output than this. The fact that this car has 475, give or take, pound-feet of torque does not help my case whatsoever. To fully take advantage of the power this thing puts down, you really do need to buy some drag radials for this car. So if you have a Scat Pack, your best option is going to be either A, buy a separate set of wheels for the rear with, basically some radials on them and put those on when you want to go do race car things. Or B, look into a different tire option. Now, the 3 tire options that I have come up with are 1, the Continental Extreme Contact DWs, 2, the Nitto Motivos, which surprisingly hook pretty damn well on a 500 horsepower Camaro that I rode in about 2 weeks ago. I was thoroughly impressed. They were 275 width, just like these. The car's putting down more power than mine, and it hooked pretty well. I was really surprised, and they actually are very good tires for mileage too. So the Nitto Motivos might be something good to look into. And 3, it's a tire I've really never heard of before. I don't even think Discount Tires sells them, but it's like the Atturo AZ850s or something. There's a whole bunch of people on Facebook groups that I'm following that absolutely praise these tires, saying that they're so amazing and stuff. I've never heard of them, so I really don't know, but they're also super cheap. It's like $105 per tire. So that also might be something good to look into, and who knows, maybe we'll give those a shot. I purposely waited 3 weeks to do this review in hopes it would rain somewhere in that time span and I could give a comment on how they do in the rain. But unfortunately, it hasn't rained in 3 weeks. So I really apologize to the people with Scat Packs that went out and actually bought these tires before I had made the review on them. I guess guessing I thought they were great tires since I bought them in the first place, but unfortunately they're not that great, and I do apologize for the delay in the video. I wanted to make the video commenting about the rain and stuff like that, but I just can't. Also would like to comment about how they do in the cold, but I don't think it's dropped below 80 degrees in the past 3 weeks, so can't comment on that either. To summarize these tires, I would say stay away from them if your car puts out a lot of power. If you're running something with a good amount of power but nothing over the top and you want to track your car, I think these tires actually would be pretty good for you. But if you're going for 0 to 60, a quarter mile time, stuff like that, stay away from these. Are they an improvement over stock? Yes. Is it noticeable? Barely. At this point, I'm really not sure what I'm going to do. I don't know if I'm going to get a separate set of wheels and radials, or if I'm going to try to find another, daily drivable tire that will give me good traction. Really not sure what I want to do yet, but definitely stay tuned and I will be sure to keep you guys informed. I'm definitely interested to see how these tires would perform in cooler weather when the car's running great, the weather's good, I can drop the tire pressure and really test these 0 to 60s to see if I can beat my personal best of 4.4. So I don't know, I might keep these on until then. We'll just have to wait and see, but who knows? So thank you guys for watching this video. Unfortunately, I was the guinea pig with these tires, but I'm glad that I got to live and learn and, kind of experience what these tires were like and share my experience with you guys. So as always, I will see you all in the next one. Take it easy.